Over 17 million people requiring assistance, and calls for global solidarity and immediate action on Syria's humanitarian crisis. Rana Basharat Ali Khan, Geneva, December 15, 2024. Rana Basharat Ali Khan, chairman of the International Human Rights Movement, has expressed deep concern over the escalating humanitarian crisis in Syria and urged the international community to act swiftly to prevent further suffering. Speaking on the critical need for unity, reconstruction, and humanitarian aid, Mr. Khan emphasized the importance of addressing the dire situation in Syria, which has been exacerbated by over a decade of conflict, mass displacement, and recent regional instability. Syria's humanitarian needs are among the most pressing in the world today, with over 17 million people requiring assistance. This crisis is not confined to the region; its consequences ripple globally. The international community must prioritize humanitarian aid, foster inclusive governance, and support the rebuilding of Syria to ensure stability and peace, Mr. Khan said. The fall of the Assad regime has created a fragile transition in Syria, with new authorities struggling to establish governance. This period of political uncertainty, coupled with ongoing pockets of conflict, has left millions vulnerable. According to UN reports, recent hostilities in neighboring Lebanon have displaced over 600,000 people into Syria, adding to the 374,000 displaced within Syria in the aftermath of recent developments. Rana Basharat Ali Khan highlighted the responsibility of all nations to uphold the principles of international human rights and humanitarian law. The humanitarian response must transcend political considerations. It is imperative to provide life-saving assistance, rebuild essential infrastructure, and ensure that no individual is left behind, he stated. The international human rights movement, under Mr. Khan's leadership, has been at the forefront of advocating for marginalized communities globally, including displaced populations in conflict zones. The organization has consistently called for equitable access to humanitarian aid, protection of civilians, and adherence to international norms. With Syria's basic services and institutions, such as hospitals and schools, in disarray, the international human rights movement has pledged to intensify its efforts in mobilizing international support for the Syrian people. Mr. Khan underscored the importance of rebuilding Syria's infrastructure to ensure long-term stability and prevent the resurgence of extremist groups like ISIL. He also urged international stakeholders to prioritize inclusivity and unity in Syria's political transition. Syria's diversity is its strength, and inclusive governance is vital for sustainable peace. We must stand together to support Syria's recovery and reconstruction, Mr. Khan added.